Hello, we back. International Walk in the House.
Your girl Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
Act 2, the podcast, episode 3 in the house. How y'all doing, people? What's up? We here.
Like gang signs.
She from the, OG or BG or whatever she put down. What's up, people? Act 2, the podcast, episode 33. Trey. That's what you was doing? Trey.
That's my gang.
Trey. We back. Thank y'all. Appreciate. We was out last week on vacation, doing some leisure time. And
since you're international walk, can I be stamped up shorty?
No. Stamped up shorty. What the fuck is that? Stamped up shorty. Oh my god. The fuck is stamped up shorty?
That's what I wanna be.
But we are back. We back in front of the camera. We back live. We back in our studio. And we happy to be here. So what's up? What's going on? Good show today. Let's just talk a little shit.
Looking forward to it.
You don't do that.
I feel like I need a drum set. Boom, boom.
What's going on? What's up?
I'm good. I feel good.
How are you?
I am good.
How are you mentally?
Mentally, I'm an 8. I'm gonna say I'm an 8.
That's good. You ain't been 8 in a while.
I feel refreshed. You know, work is work, and well, I know we didn't get to work yet, but work impacts my mental and causes some stress. But I've been doing things to help relieve that stress, and it's been working. You know, I'm only a few days in, but I told myself I have to be conscientious about my actions, and I can't just complain and allow things to impact me and don't do anything. It's some things that I can't change, some things that I can, or at least I can change how it impacts me. So that's what I've been doing. So mentally, I'm an 8. I feel good.
What about work?
Work is a 7.
That's a 7 that dropped down.
Yeah, but
if your face dropped down too, like what the fuck?
You know what? It's almost like you need vacation, and I am pro advocate. Take your PTO. I was talking to somebody today. It is August, and they told me that I gotta take some time. I got like 117 hours. I'm like struggling to kind of piece together these 5 days I got left and how we gonna work out some time off through the rest. 117 hours. What are you waiting for?
She's dedicated to work.
But be dedicated to you too, because God forbid you drop dead. They're going to send out an email. They're going to collect some money for flowers to send to your family. They're going to have a meeting and talk about it. Your position's going to be posted. Use your time. That's all I'm saying. Yes, you have a job to do, and you have to be dedicated. You have to be responsible. Use your time.
I'm advocate for that too.
That's all I'm saying.
Goddamn time. I'll take time off when I want to.
That's all I'm saying. So work is a 7. It's busy, and I was saying it makes you feel like when you go on vacation, it's like you're being punished when you come back, because it's
right back to the grind.
And it's more grind. It's like, oh yeah, I was waiting for this. You waited a week for this? You know, there's other people that could have answered your question. Are you really stalking me over something that you needed if you needed it 5 days ago and I just got back? You can wait another day or 2 until I get caught up, because it obviously ain't that pertinent.
Right, you already waited 7 days, so it's 9.
Exactly. So don't rush me. Your urgency is not my emergency. That's all I'm saying.
You good? You got that off?
I'm good.
I was talking to somebody.
They didn't see this, but yeah,
obviously
I was
talking to somebody.
Yeah, because somebody sent me a request for something today, and I told them, okay, I would do it. And they said, okay, moving forward, can you send this to me every month? Sure, that's fine. By what day of the month do you need it? They said by the 15th. Okay, no problem. I'll give it to you. Then later on, they contact, hey, what's this? When I get to it, like, you just asked me today, but I digress.
Made me forget where I was at. That was a lot.
All right, so that was
work.
mentally,
Jesus
I'm an
Christ.
8. Work is a 6.5, 7. I downbeat a little bit, but
Finances.
Finances is a 7 because I need some money.
That's
It's like, no, finances is a 9. I have no complaints. I'm extremely grateful. I refuse to complain, I refuse to complain. Coming from a place where you see people living life and appearing to be happy and smiling and doing what they got to do with so much less than we have.
It's
like,
fucked up.
who are we to complain? So
Yeah.
finances, I'm going to say finances are a 10. Because I have everything I need. I might not have everything I want, but there's nothing that I need that I don't have or that I can't get. So,
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah. How are you?
I am blissful.
Wow, blissful.
I never said that before.
You pulled that out the dictionary.
I almost felt it when I said it.
That's good. You feel jubilant. You feel like bubbly inside.
Yeah, I just got
bubbly, like,
I don't know, just coming.
He had some Jamaican
I had some IBS or something, some irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay, but we don't want to like gross people out talking about
I'm not trying to
bowels.
gross people out, but I'm just saying.
But he did. I was scared because I'm thinking, is this food poisoning?
She thought I had a parasite.
I did. I'm like, did he have a parasite? They didn't warn us about drinking the water.
But she drank the same damn water.
Yeah, and I'm like,
ate the same food.
And I am so sensitive to so much stuff. I am fasting. If somebody says it's a 1 out of 10 chance that you may have a side effect to something, I'm probably going to get that side effect. Like, stuff just always happens to me. So I wasn't feeling anything, but he was like, not good. Wow. It wasn't not feeling good. He just was in the bathroom like 7 times a day.
Thought you didn't want to gross people out.
I'm just saying in the bathroom. That's all.
You can digress.
All right, so you're feeling blissful.
Yeah.
How are you? I'll go to work. How's work?
Work is cool. Work was good. The fellas handled what they had to handle while I was gone, so that was good.
What's the number? Give me a number.
Work's a 9.
Ooh.
Where I'm supposed to be. I actually got a little bit more time. They did so well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, work is good. Work's a 9.
Does it make you feel great being a leader that is building new leaders? Because that's the real sign of great leadership. Not just giving directions, but teaching people how to be leaders themselves.
Yeah, it is. It does make me feel good, especially somebody who I might attach myself to, which I haven't, in my career with many people. Like I said, I think I said this before, I might have been asked to teach 100 people, and it's only been 2.
Yeah, because I know some people I can think of that you worked with, and not talking about your pal. I'm talking about other people that you worked with. And, y'all might have been, y'all might have had a cordial working relationship, but you really didn't pour in them to try to, in an effort to make an attempt to build them. But what I will say, those other people have been Caucasian. And these people are not necessarily black, but they're not Caucasian. They're colored. Yeah. They're colored.
Black and brown. They're just brown.
Well, they're not colored. That made me feel
twice you said it. I don't know what was up with
people
that shit.
People of color, not
she said
colored
like it's the fucking 40s or something. Like,
but I was referring to like us. But that's I guess
we're not colored.
But they're people of color. I should say
people of color.
My bad. That was very politically incorrect. All right, so they're people of color. Is that why you feel some more attachment to them, you think?
No, I just have an attachment to them because I just see myself in them. That's all. I see their drive, their motivation, and it reminds me of myself when they were there, when I was their age. I was a much more advanced at their age than they are, but everybody gets there on their own time, but they're on the right track. So yeah, that's why and the whole Caucasian thing, that has a lot to do with it too, because of just who those guys are.
Okay. But I mean, again, I know you've had some cordial relationships with some, but it just hasn't been the same.
Nah.
All right, so work is a 9. How's finances?
Finances is a 9. Finances is great. I'm down a little bit. It's fucking you. No, I don't have no money to give you.
Right. Finances 9, that's great.
Yeah, so we're good.
Overall, mentally?
Mentally, I would say a 9. That's good.
You flying high.
Yeah, I feel good.
Flying high
Everything's good.
in the sky. You know how
it's
I feel.
It's all good in the hood. So, yeah.
Is that how that song goes?
I don't know what song you're trying to sing. I don't know what fucking song you're trying to sing.
Flying high in the sky. You know how I feel. I can't think of how it goes.
Just stop it. Like, you're fucking it up. Like, stop.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how.
Wows and woes.
My wow for the week, of course, was VAY-KAY-SHI-ON-AY. No, VAY-KAY-SHI-ON-AY is for Puerto Rico because that's our Spanish word. What's our Rastafarian
You have a vacation.
vacation? First of all, mentioning Rastafarian, all we heard all week. Hey Rasta, Rasta man. Hey Rasta, Rasta man. You Rasta. Hey Yachty, you original Yachty boy. They swore he was Jamaican, and then I think all the women was like looking at me like she
You
done came here
Americana?
with her
Huh?
American self and took one of our Jamaicans because their eyes would not leave him. Like, I digress. My wild was vacation. It was awesome. Just being away in a beautiful place. Anybody that knows me knows that I love the water, the pool, the ocean, anything. And I really love the beach.
Yes, you do.
But I also love the outdoors. So one thing about
What
Jamaica.
did you try to say you were there? You asked me if I wanted to fuck a mermaid.
I am a mermaid. Like
Some bullshit there.
well, I love the outdoors, and one thing about the island of Jamaica that we got a chance on a small scale
It's
to
a country.
experience.
It's not an island.
Well, this is an island, the island country.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, the country of Jamaica. We got a chance to observe on a very small scale. The beach, of course, is beautiful, but the mountains are beautiful as well. So that was just, it was breathtaking just experiencing that, getting a small peek. When I say a small peek, we went to an excursion. So we rode through a lot of towns. We had a driver, it was like a 45-minute drive. And we had a driver who was very knowledgeable. So he's like pointing stuff out. Like
Shout
really
out to Freeman.
Yes, really teaching
Jamaican,
us stuff.
the
And
original
it
yard
made
boy.
you want more. Like I could see how somebody could pay a driver to
Have a
drive
good
them
vacation,
around
you
all
know?
day. So that was my wild vacation was awesome. And not only that, shout out to my amazing husband because this was for his birthday. And I did something special for his birthday. I planned while we were on vacation. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted because the weather hated on us, but he still enjoyed it. But on top of that, all the other stuff that, he just made sure we had a good time. So we went jet skiing on the wave runners. The dolphins. Follow Act2 the podcast, Act2 _ the podcast on Instagram if you don't already, to see our pictures from the dolphin excursion. That was amazing. We had these couples massage. He got one more chance to snore during a couples massage experience, and it will be individual massages.
It might as well
from
be
here on
individual
out.
now because I'm always gonna snore. Somebody is oiling me up and rubbing me, and we had a bath before that.
Okay, but you're in a room with a stranger naked. How can you be that comfortable to allow yourself to sleep that hard?
She's rubbing me with oils.
She's a stranger.
Lemongrass oils.
Naked, and you're naked.
You was there?
So, that makes me feel good. You felt comfortable because I was there.
Yeah, you wasn't gonna let nothing happen to me. I was naked. What
But
you gonna let them do? Fill up on me?
What if she had some Rastafarian gangsters that was gonna run up in there?
That was the resort. They wasn't having no Rastafarian gangsters
But
up in
it
there.
was amazing, and the food was amazing. And you know what? I'm so grateful that we ate good, and the scale did not hurt my feelings when I came home. So that was my wow.
What was your wow?
My woe, and this was really a sad moment. When I came home, I found out that someone who I care about lost a sibling, and this is a person who, and I don't want to give any details because it's somebody's personal business. This is someone who, I'll say from New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2020, until August 22nd, lost a brother, a mother, and now a sister. And it just broke my heart. It just really broke my heart for this person. And I know they don't watch the show, so they'll never see this.
But just condolences out to you. You know who you are. And
just to think about, anybody who's suffered a major loss is bad. And we have had in our life together. My grandmom died in 2003. My favorite aunt died last year in 2020. I had a cousin who also died about 10 years ago. Other than that, I have not had any close family members that have passed away. So I don't know that pain.
Me either.
My heart goes out to those who have, especially those who, if you suffered one loss, that's bad enough, but to suffer that many losses, I just don't know how. And you put it simply, you gotta go on.
Yeah.
I just can't even fathom how you do. So that was my, even though it wasn't me directly, that I really struggle with that, because that's one of those moments where you want to like really encourage people to have faith and believe in God, but at the same time you can understand how they can be like, what's up?
Yeah,
What's up,
we got
God?
this thing where it's like every time we go on vacation and come back,
Oh.
a star or something died. And I said that to the fellas at work. I said it to Darren, and he just was like, somebody famous died last week. And I was like, really, who? He was like, I forget, but somebody did. But not only that, you know, you coming back and getting that news, it was like, not a star, but that's even
But
more
not
personal.
just a star. You remember every time we go on vacation, like there's some horrific news story that happens.
It was
that time when we were on vacation, and it was the pregnant girl. I think she lived in Chester, and like her boyfriend killed her. And then a couple years ago, we were on vacation in the state that we were in. It was this big news story because this man had killed his wife or girlfriend and their kids, and like it was not far from where we are. Like there's always, and then when we went to Hilton Head Island, we came home and found out while, like I think the day we were leaving, somebody got killed by an alligator. Like every time.
But the day we left here, somebody got shot up in Philly. Like a couple people died real bad. It was on 911 Philly. But yeah, some shit got shot up and people died.
Yeah, but that was my woe. You know, just it really, again, death is sad for anybody. I am extremely close with my sisters, so I can't even imagine losing them. And this, you know, person losing a sister after losing a mother, after losing a brother, before the year is over, is just devastating. So that was my woe. And my prayers have consistently been going out for her.
It's tough for people who, like I said before, who can lose 2 people in 20 years, and then somebody can lose 4 or 5 people in 1 year. Like how that plays out for different people. That's crazy. But condolences to her.
What was your wow?
My wow was vacation. Was just simply vacation. Being on vacation for my birthday. Turned 44 out there. Yeah, my Obama year. Yeah, that felt good to celebrate a birthday, another 365. Being out in Jamaica, it was just great. Felt good. Was damn near naked. It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. That beach was just like, you think the water blue, but the water was clear.
Yeah,
and that's what like trips me out. Like the water was clear, and I just love being out there. Like that's a place I can go back to over and over. And I don't want to go back there over and over again, but I'm gonna slip it in every once in a while.
Exactly. Out of all the vacations that we take throughout the year, I feel like Jamaica has to be one every
Puerto
year.
Rico, the second time, was the best vacation I had ever been on. But this last vacation was probably the best vacation I've been on. I had a great birthday dinner, which was awesome. The food I ate, every fucking bite of it on a plate was great. I'm 44 years old. I come from 26 in York. I never thought I would be in the fucking water with a dolphin. Like, just never thought that I would be hugging a goddamn dolphin. So I hugged the dolphin, and that meant a lot to me. I played with this stingray called Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Yeah, I was fucking around with her. She was huge, and I never touched one of them. So that was great.
He knew how to be gentle, because even the trainer and me, she kept running from him. But he put his hands, he slipped his hands up under
and
her.
She started flopping,
and he was doing like this.
Wings.
She would not leave his hands. She was acting like me.
Like flopping. She was flopping. So that was cool. Never did no shit like that. So that's in the memory bank. The Dolphins was in the memory bank. Calicio and Pepe was Calicio.
Calicia.
Yeah. Not Calisa. Calicia.
Okay.
And Pepe was the names of the 2 dolphins. Obviously a boy and a girl. And they was cool as shit. I don't know if y'all ever did anything like this, but go swim with dolphins and like have them push you out the water. Like, they give handshakes just by talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no signal, just give me a pound. And the motherfucker give you a
Yes.
pound.
And
like,
I've had a splash fight.
yeah,
When I
like,
splashed
just
her,
by
she splashed me
talking
back.
these fucking things, like, the guy was like, splash. And they just splashed. Like, that shit was so cool. It was so cool. And to see you have fun like that, like you was cheesing like your face was going to hurt.
Because it was crazy.
Yeah.
He told the dolphin to give me a kiss, and I gave her a kiss. Then he going to say, give her a little tongue. And the dolphin opened his mouth. I wasn't sticking my
signal,
tongue.
no nothing, just...
He said, give her a little tongue. And he said, put his tongue out.
That
Like,
shit was
oh
crazy.
my God, I couldn't believe he did it.
Then he told us that sometime Pepe is Michael Jackson and he could moonwalk. And as soon as he said that, Pepe jumped up on top of the fucking water on his tail and moonwalked across the water. Like,
that was dope.
Just crazy shit these dolphins can do. And then when they lay up on you, like talking to them, you're like, hey little buddy, how you doing? Like, that shit was just so cool.
Yeah.
The jet skis, I think we got gypped on. Because we took a 10-minute ride to get to where you're supposed to ride at, which means our time on them was like 20 minutes. And for $75 a piece, that we got gagged. We rode jet skis probably 10, 15 times in our life. And we know what a good time is. That was bogus.
And the crazy thing is, the area was amazing. Like, the water was calm. The water was shallow, even though it was very
warm,
rocky.
It wasn't cold.
Yeah, so the area was like, I'm always kind of hesitant at first, and then I open up more the longer we go. By the time I started to open up, it was like, time to go.
They want another
what?
$150.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a little bit of a disappointment, but it was fun out there.
For the time that it lasted, yeah.
What else did we do?
The massages.
The massages was great. Like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, but somebody give you a bath first and then rub you down with oil for 55 minutes. Like, you're going to go to sleep. And you're high. You're going to go to sleep.
So they have this traditional Irie bath where it's a warm bath, a hot bath, and then a cold bath. And it's also a sauna. So we got in a warm bath.
Chemicals or something in it.
Though we got in a warm bath, it felt great. We got in a hot bath.
First off, the warm bath was like, I think 82 degrees.
Yeah.
And then we got to the hot bath, it was 112.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, it was 102.
102?
Yeah.
Still,
112 is yeah.
Oh, that shit was hot.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
hot.
It was hot. Then we got out, and then we got in the sauna. I love a sauna. He could only take it for a little bit. I was in there chilling, and I could see him peeking. Like,
I don't think I took it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, sat in there, and a second seemed like hours. Like, your ribs start sweating, your hips start sweating, your teeth start sweating.
I would like to have an in-home sauna.
Nah, I'm good. I would never go in that.
Yeah.
Never go in that. And that was a dry sauna. That shit was hot.
It felt amazing. And then we got back in there. And then they tell you before the massage to get in the cold bath to close up your pores. It was 57 degrees. He got in like to your ankles, I think.
Like colder than
I got all the way
in
and got right. Like, it was so cold.
No, I dipped down.
You did go in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got in because I wanted my pores to close up. I didn't want to catch a cold.
Yeah, I've never been in water that cold.
Yeah, that's
never.
ridiculous. But that was just an awesome experience, an awesome trip. Yeah, it was just a lot of happy times, a lot of happy memories, jubilation there.
The hotel was
the
a
hotel
vibe.
was dope.
Yeah.
Just stop saying that.
I'm sorry.
Like, that's just,
because that's
like
the
everybody else is saying. No, it's not the perfect thing. Like,
it is.
This year, everybody has vibes. Next year, it'll be something else. But that's not how
last
we
year
talk.
everybody was toxic. I like that.
Yeah, but that's
it
not
was
how
a
we
vibe.
talk.
To me, I feel like the scenario, it was just very relaxing.
I understand
it was
that.
chill, and even though it had music, it still like set a different tone,
a different tone, a chill,
a nice
or whatever.
vibe.
But we've been together 20 years and we don't talk like that.
It was
That's
nice
how
vibe.
everybody else talks.
I enjoyed
That's
the
what
vibe.
everybody has to catch all of a sudden, a vibe.
It's
like
not
you
a
said,
bad thing.
I'm just saying, it's whatever. All right, it ain't a bad thing. You don't. That's your opinion.
Okay.
But it was fun. It was fun.
was.
The hotel was dope. We didn't get in the pool. The pool was nasty. Yeah, the pool.
So let me tell you,
good.
our driver from the airport was telling us out. He went on this little rant. He don't like pools because they're nasty. It's just stagnant water. And I'm thinking like, okay, whatever. Like, I've always enjoyed the pool. But then somebody says that to you, and now it's in your mind. So when we go to get in the pool, he's looking like, nah, I don't like this water. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and get in. And I'll get in up to my like knees, maybe my waist, and I'm looking like, yeah, maybe not. So it was no pool.
Nah, no pool at all. But like I said, the whole experience was just great.
I know what else we did.
What?
Island Stream. You went to
a
weed
went
club.
to a herb house. Yeah, Island Strands herb house is the shit. Shout out Island Strands. I don't know if y'all ever gonna. You know what? I'm gonna put this on the gram and tag y'all.
Yeah, Island Strands.
Island Strain. What did I say?
Strands.
Island Strains. Herb house was dope. They had a whole bunch. Critical Kush. Ooh, knock your socks off. Critical Kush. But yeah, when I got there, our driver Mike, bam, hooked me up, and we were set right immediately. Well, I was set immediately. But you talking about sleeping in the massage? I say that to say I was smoking my face off out there, and we had massages like noon.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 5 in already.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Yeah, but the herb, is it herb or herb?
Herb.
Herb. Okay, I know herb.
Herb.
Herb is the man's name though, but herb is when you talk about like herbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so the herb house.
The herbs you cook with and you smoke.
I call it a weed club. The weed club. It was a great environment. I won't say it was a vibe. It was a great environment.
It was a chill spot. Why can't we just talk like we talk?
It was on the water. It it had sofas where you could relax and chill. We had already eaten, but it did have food. You could buy drinks, but they were selling like pints. Like nobody had cups. Everybody had bottles.
You had to get a little pint or whatever you wanted, and they probably had 3 kinds of alcohol.
Yeah, beers. It was music playing. Like, that was a great environment.
Yeah. And it was half open. Stop saying that shit. And it was half open to the ocean. Because that's the whole thing, is to watch the sunset while you blaze up on some tree.
And he mentioned something really good. They need to have spots like that here in America.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, let us know, because I'm not aware of any. But where you can go, you can smoke legally if that's your twist. Maybe even you can smoke a cigar. I mean, like, whatever your twist is, it was
you can't have no bogeys up in there.
It was you shouldn't be allowed to smoke cigarettes there. But I'm okay with a cigar. Where it can be very chill and relaxed. Everybody doing their thing. I think that's a great idea. Now, I don't know what water, I mean, I guess the river or something. Like, what body of water? Ain't nobody trying to drive down to the ocean for that.
And nobody trying to stand next to the Schuylkill. Or stand next to fucking
you
Penn's
think,
Landing or something.
But you know how when we go down to...
Well, Penn's Landing might go.
Yeah, that's the river.
Yeah.
You know, when we go down to Cherry Street Pier, like, you know, sitting out there by the water, the sunset, that might...
dropping our locations, babe.
I mean, they don't know when we're there, but okay.
You know?
They may... That might be a good... I mean, I don't know what would be required for something like that to be approved, but it was a good chill spot.
It was just awesome.
So we kind of went on about your wow.
Us going into the mountains when we was with Freeman. I want to go into this with detail because it was fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the mountains with Freeman, he took us to get a coconut. We washed our hearts. That was great. That's what they call it over there.
When you drink a coconut.
Yeah, and I ate this slurry that you scrape out the coconut. I don't think I should have did that.
I think that's where his stomach bug came from. And not a bug,
that
but
shit, like, just holds on to your belly for days, and I mean, puts a wrench on it like X-Lax or something. Like, it's just bad.
And the slurry is like, once you drink the water out the coconut, they cut a piece of the coconut rind, I guess what we would call it, and you use it as like a spoon.
Yep.
But it's, it's like your hand, and you scrape around, and it looks like ejaculatory material, if you know what I'm saying, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it's like
nut.
I was trying to be... use the scientific
it's
term.
It's like nut.
It looks like ejaculatory material. But so you take this spoon of sorts, the piece of coconut, and you kind of scrape around, and you pick it up, and if you eat it, and they say that it increases men's virility because they told him if
I could make a prince up there.
that we can make a prince on the island, like we're 40 plus, no princes or princesses being made. But you know, he kind of scooped it up and he ate it. I tasted a little bit, and I was like, that's okay.
When
But
I put
he
it in
ate
my
a lot
mouth,
of it.
because I kept looking for coconut taste,
Yeah.
and coconut and water and the slurry don't taste shit like coconut.
No, and it wasn't nasty.
Nothing don't
it didn't
taste
really
shit
have
like
a
coconut.
taste
It
to
almost tastes like regular water that you like put fruit or something in. That has like just a bland taste of something.
The slurry, it didn't taste nasty. I'll say that it was more of a textural thing for me. That
just
it was like
flopping around in your mouth.
like,
You couldn't
I'm
get a
not
hold
about
of
to eat
it
this.
to like smash it down. It just was like
you put it in your mouth and you just swallow.
Yeah. So it's like,
for lack of better words, you
gulp
just
of
swallow.
fucking nut. It was bad.
Yeah, and then I had a coconut the next day on the beach, and it was cooler. So that's a difference too. I realized the one that we had at the hut,
they took them out of water.
Yeah, so I don't know if that did something to it.
Yeah,
but the other one I had was cooler.
But it was dope to be in the mountains and be in parts of Jamaica where so many people say, don't go outside your resort, but just being out, seeing some locals, seeing some different architecture was just great. It was like, damn, we was in Hanover and Hopewell and all different parts of Jamaica.
And we seen an area where affluent Black people, affluent Jamaicans live. It was this one area called Spring Garden. And
he said they had dogs up there that would eat you and they never find you.
Yeah,
like they don't go up there.
Don't go up there unless you have a reason. They're very wealthy. They protect their homes. They protect their property. And yeah, if you don't have a reason to go up there, don't. You're not allowed up there.
Yeah.
But we have some great content too. So we'll, make sure we'll be posting some soon, just so you can kind of get some insight into what we saw and what we experienced. We enjoyed it.
But it was just dope as hell. Best vacation I ever been on. Yeah, we was locked in there. I like that.
I'm happy you enjoyed it. It was a great birthday for you.
What
was your woe, if any?
Woe, I had, my guy at work, which one, always in sketchy shit. I don't even want to say his name. But his actually wasn't him. His son had, this is what's wrong with young kids today. His son had a friend who, they're friends or whatever, and he's trying to hide stuff from his parents, so he's getting shirts and stuff and clothing shipped to his friend's house. I guess friends do that or whatever, Amazon shit. And then all of a sudden they didn't become friends. They're not friends. So a certain shirt gets dropped off at my man's house. His son gets it and says he's not giving it back to the kid. So now this becomes an Instagram thing. So now they're back and forth on Instagram. So now these kids come around his house calling them ops, took a picture in front of his house, posted his address on social media. And of course my friend, he's legally has guns and everything, and that's not something you take lightly. Your address being on social media, that's something you gotta sit your
and you
fucking
bring your
kid
ruckus
down.
to my house.
Yeah, that's something you have to sit your kid down and tell him this shit. Like, I don't know what you got people calling you ops and you calling people like this ain't Chicago.
Not only that.
Hold on, and what comes with that is the shit that's coming in Chicago. Like, after you calling people ops and showing people and posting shit, the next part in the song is smoking your ops. So that's what comes with that kind of shit. And it's just like, that was just like, damn, bro, like, you got to talk to your kid and be like, I don't know what road you going down or what you playing games, because he says, he's not built like that. He don't come from that. He ain't that kind of kid. But doing shit like that and playing them kind of social media games, like, these kids will kill you out here.
But the crazy thing and the sad part about what you're saying is that there's so many situations that evolve to that point where, this person ops and this person ops, or we come into your house, or they shooting up the house, or they busting out a window, or going back and forth until, unfortunately, regrettably, somebody is hurt or killed. But when you talk to a lot of these young people, if you have a chance to, and you ask them what is it over, it's the dumbest thing. Give him his shirt.
It's over a sweatshirt.
Like
and then
it didn't start from any disrespect. It didn't start from like whatever.
Well, it is disrespect in a way because he says my son put the shirt on and takes a picture and posts it on Instagram.
But that's what I mean. Like okay, so his son did that, but it's over a shirt.
Yeah.
Like if God forbid if somebody is killed, not his son, not the other boy, but just in people fighting, because you know it can be a fight and somebody gets stabbed in the wrong place or something. And so when somebody gets killed and the cop has this conversation, and it shows this started over a shirt. You know how mean, and that's the part that kids don't understand. Where it's like you have to have a greater respect for life. Like a shirt versus life, the value is nowhere near equal.
Yet. And here come the kids come around calling him to come outside for a fair one, and he don't. He's scared. He don't come outside. But so they take a picture of the front of the house and tell him when school start, we on your ass. So, I mean, it's like where does this go,
and
man?
And again, this is the evolution of, thank God he has parents who are in his life. But this is what happens where a lot of young kids will drop out of school because of fear, or they'll end up taking a weapon to school and it happens and then they get put out or they get locked up or they use it and now we have a school shooting. Like, these are the dumb things that happen that blow up and snowball into bigger things.
And this is the type of shit, like, he has gotten his guns for, like... And I mean, I understand his anger with somebody coming to your house, calling out your kid, and putting your goddamn front door and address up on social media.
Now, I don't know.
Calling your son ops and talking about how they gonna get him and shit like that. Like, that's just something. And I know he don't take it lightly because I talk to him, but that's something that I would be on level 10 about.
But now, I say this from the outside, and I don't know if this is a viable solution, but this is one of those moments where you have to take it back to old school and go, hopefully, by them being friends at some point, maybe they're come from the same yoke, parent to parent. Forget the kids. Mm-hmm. Like, he can't be like, oh, we coming at these kids now because I got guns and y'all posting my address. No, I'm go get your pop. Where your dad? I'm going to your house. And maybe his parents might have an influence on him. They might knock him upside his head. They may not even know what's going on.
He talked to one of the dads, and the dads was like shocked, and saying my son ain't even about that life. Why he doing that? So yeah, there was some discourse there, but still, once your shit sends and your address and front door is up on there.
But you know what? It will only snowball if you allow it to. If they do the adult responsible thing and dead it will be deaded. Like, he can't allow this to blow up without making any effort. Now, again, who knows? All the parents involved. Some of the other parents may be with it and may be like, okay, like, I'm on whatever my child is on.
What's a fucking Great Bait hoodie? Great Bait?
Bape.
Yeah.
It's a brand of, I'll show you when we're done. It costs a couple dollars.
Stupid shit. Like, I just don't get it.
And then another thing he had, the son has to realize, that's stealing. Like, if you don't mess with him, even if y'all ain't friends, come and get your stuff. Don't send nothing else to my house.
Yep.
Or you really want to be petty, send it back. Return. This person don't live here. At least he'll get his money back. For him buying it, he won't get the item. But you really want to be petty. Don't steal.
And if it overwhelmed you to steal and you just had to, then say it didn't come. But don't fucking put it on and flash it in your face or put it on social media like, I got it, nigga, I'm wearing it. Yeah, like, that's total disrespect.
You asking for beef and you not about that life.
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
You know what I saw today? I forget who. You know what? It's a person. They're a social media influencer, and they into real estate and that kind of stuff. But long story short, they're from North Philly, and they posted something there saying some young kids that were like 13 or 14 had a gun and shot somebody else that was like 13, 14. And it said, parents, y'all got to start checking y'all kids' rooms, going through their stuff. Like, you 13, 14. I feel like if we were parents, as long as you live in my house, your room is subject to search.
Yeah.
Your room, your phone.
I fucking hated that when I was young.
Yeah, but it's
My
necessary.
mom would turn but she wouldn't.
Think about the stuff that you had in your room, the guns under your mattress.
But she wasn't looking for guns for fucking chastising me. She was turning my room upside down to steal money from me.
Well, that's a different story.
Like,
what I'm saying is checking your kids' rooms to make sure. I remember, and I don't want to hear no crap. I'm going to say this, and this is in the store. I remember when I was like 15, little drug dealer in the neighborhood liked me. I liked him. But my mom wasn't having it. I couldn't like come in the house with like gifts from a boy or nothing.
Oh, what the fuck you mean you preface this by I'm going to say this and that's the end of it?
Because we'll talk about it afterwards because, I don't want to say no names and stuff. But what I'm saying is he had this, and I told you this before, he had this chain that he let me hold. And it was like, oh, okay. In my drawer underneath everything, and that's where it stayed because I knew how my parents was. Like, I couldn't wear this. I couldn't bring stuff into my home
that they didn't buy.
Yeah, or that would be indicative that something is going on that they're not aware of. Either you got somebody buying you stuff that's not supposed to, so what are you doing in exchange for
our
these
parents
gifts?
Ain't nobody giving you shit for nothing.
Exactly. Or are you holding? I know girls used to hold drugs for guys, hold money for guys, hold guns, and boys on the other hand who may be slipping into that world of doing things they're not supposed to. So I encourage parents. Again, we don't tell people what to do because we mind our business, but I encourage parents to take an active role. Check these kids' rooms. Don't just let them have access to everything. My sister checks phones. Like, nah, like it ain't going down. What's going on? Who you talking to? Who this girl? Talk to these kids about, having naked pictures of, boys having naked pictures of girls and stuff. That kind of stuff can lead to problems. Like, you got to be involved. You have to be more involved. And so in this case, my suggestion would be take it beyond the kids and see what the parents are talking about and then decide how you're going to react.
Obviously his reaction was, I'm going to kill a motherfucker because somebody at my house.
You want to be protective of your child.
But because he got other brothers and sisters who lay their head there. He got his mom lay his head there. His stepdad lay his head there. Like, you don't know what the fuck you bring into the house. You don't know what these 13, 14, 15-year-old kids. Some of them got guns. Yeah. And when you look on the goddamn news, the kids that's killing people, y'all age. Yeah. So you can't take that shit lightly. So yeah, that was my woe. And I just was like, damn, like that's something you should pay attention to. You can't just take that like that ain't no fist fight. Yeah. Shifting gears though. The Taliban, the Afghan people. America going to get them. The planes that they sending over there. I read today that Airbnb is supplying 20,000 Airbnb rooms for the Afghani people, not the Taliban, but the Taliban is running them out, trying to take over Afghanistan again. I didn't know, but I found this out that they seized 60 Black Hawk helicopters, U.S. that they left there, and they took a parking lot full of ammo and guns. Almost $1 billion in cash. Like, they're trying to, the 20,000 people that they left there, all Americans, unattended and unsafe, they're trying to let them people out, and then the Taliban's going to take back over and reverse whatever.
And I know the
military did for all this time that they've been there.
And the U.S. has a date of August 31st. To withdraw all of the U.S. military. And you know what? They need to do that. Because we can't have another war fighting. One of the things about the Middle East, a lot of these wars and things that they go through, it's a cultural/religious thing. And I'm not saying what the Taliban does is right in them trying to implement the laws that they're trying to implement, but that's not our fight. And I know when you talk about a humanity issue, they shouldn't be allowed to mistreat people. But what I don't like is that the U.S. got picks. Meaning that...
Why ain't we in North Korea?
Well...
They're starving the shit out of 90% of the population there.
Not only that, why weren't we in Sudan? Why aren't we in Haiti? Why aren't we rescuing some of these people? The thing is, there are people, I mean, there's a financial incentive for us to be in the Middle East, the oil. So this is why the U.S. has such an interest
Aluminum.
and always intervening.
The ground is rich with aluminum, oil, all kinds of stuff.
This is why the U.S. is always has such an interest in intervening in the goings-ons in the Middle East. The goings-ons, yes. But we weren't out there helping the Sudanese people when there was a genocide. We have not really engaged North Korea, which I don't really know if that's a great idea.
It's not, but that's just
but we haven't even made any attempts.
Yeah, to make your point, saying like, okay, they have their picks because they know this guy has. Yeah, he's fucking crazy. Number one,
Haiti. I have not seen any stories, and I'm not saying that some local organizations aren't assisting, but I haven't seen any stories of federal aid being sent to Haiti from the U.S. Like, why aren't there ships being deployed that are just like they deployed ships to New York to be hospitals for the coronavirus? Why aren't they sending Red Cross ships to Haiti for medical supplies, care, treatment, food supplies? Why aren't we deploying, unions and carpentry workers? A lot of buildings ain't getting built right now.
No, that's all in infrastructure and democracy. That's what they was trying to do in Afghanistan. But to them, is that Eastern civilization because we're Western.
Yeah.
So they want Eastern civilization. They don't want Western civilization. So they're not going to conform to our democracy and having laws and a lot, like you said, a lot of that stuff is tied to religion, and we're trying to make it law, which, to them is disrespectful to their religion. So they're not going to change that. I mean, it's fucked up that they treat women the way that they do in 2021, and also it might be a conspiracy, like you saying you can't have another war. I think it is going to be, and that's the reason why I think they pulling out, because they're going to pull out to let the Taliban do whatever they want to do and get crazy again. And then they're going to say that's the reason that they have to go back in and start another war. War brings on billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. There's less money in peace.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a war of some sort, especially with high-ranked government and all these people who build these companies to become rich off war. Yeah. So that's just what I think, looking at it, that when they pull out all the troops and all the people, they're gonna let the Taliban run the fucking country the way that they want, and in 6 months or so, a year, when it's back and all fucked up, they're gonna say that's the reason why we got to go back, and it's gonna be the war of 2022.
You know what I never understood? Well, and maybe it ain't for me to understand because the government is such a big hypocrisy. So you know how you probably aren't familiar with this because you don't work in corporate America, but I'm sure it probably applies to your job in some way or another, where you can't have a conflict of interest. So me working in the health insurance industry, I can't have part ownership in a hospital or a doctor's office. That's a conflict of interest. Like, if this provider office, if I'm a doctor and I'm billing the insurance company, and at the same time I work at the insurance company, you can't have that kind of conflict of interest. So you might work for your company and you own the sheetrock company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Dick Cheney, who was the former vice president during wartime, he owns Halliburton.
And
so you are the vice president. And it's a war going on, and you own a company that supplies war materials. So they use your company so you start war, or you and the president start war, and then use your company to make money off of the war that you started. How is that even allowed?
Because there's no companies that make tanks at that succession, at that amount of speed. So there's no companies that make arms like that in America.
So he should have been forced to either sell his company if you want to be vice president. Like, it shouldn't be allowed. You look at local government. How many times have we heard about, like, and don't get me started, like, I may call out the wrong titles, but a local councilman gets fired because his brother owns a cleaning company and he gave the contract to his brother to be the cleaner for the senate's, the councilman's office or something.
Right, but you're making my point, because that shit's more likely for people like that, Seth Williams, the DA, and all that shit, and those local people to go to jail behind shit like that on a local level. But on a higher level, no, Dick Cheney can open a company, Blackwater, Halliburton, where they can supply bulletproof vests, guns, tanks, boots, all kinds of shit, bullets that you need for war. Because there's no company that you can call up to say, I need 100,000 rounds of fucking 9mm. No, you got to make a company that produces that shit. And
so I'm gonna start a war so that y'all can hire my company.
Yeah, but you create that company. That company didn't exist before it was war. So, but now that it's war and the military needs this shit, the military is a military. It's not a manufacturer. So they don't make tanks. They don't make guns. So we need somebody to produce this shit to send people over there. So let me create a company that makes tanks. I'm sure I'm going to buy this material from China or somewhere, and we're going to make the shit, and I'm going to become That's why you made my point. Like, they become billionaires, billionaires off war.
So, and this is the same
no
government.
Money in peace.
This is the same government that's pushing a vaccine that they want people to trust them to take.
Here we go with the goddamn fucking vaccine.
That's all I'm saying.
People out there.
This is the same government that wants you to trust them, and they do this kind of backdoor stuff. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Y'all know that. Y'all know my position. I don't tell nobody. I'm not telling anybody what to do. But I'm just saying, this is the same government that does this shiesty stuff, and then say, "Oh no, trust us. We have your best interests at heart."
They do say that, but all I'm just saying is that's been going on since time immemorial. When have they not done that? The vaccine is a whole different goddamn thing. A lot of people out there, if you're able to go to the doctor, which I wasn't for a long time, so I'm not shitting on nobody who can't, but if you're able to go to the doctor and get your information from there. Stop doing what everybody else is doing on social media or what black people are supposed to be doing. Like, let's just stop riding the wave and go get information for yourself and for your family and make your decision. Whether it be, no, I don't want to take it, which is cool, or yes, I'm going to take it. But don't make a decision based on black people ain't taking it. Or every time I look on social media, it's politicized to the point where, no, I'm not supposed to be taking it. Because God damn it, if somebody in your family, daughter, mom, aunt, somebody dies from COVID, guarantee the next day you want the vaccine.
But let's not just blame black people, because white people out here taking sheep medicine.
I understand that.
They out here taking medicine that's for cows.
We found out some people was taking livestock medicine. Like, that's crazy.
Like, how crazy?
Something that says not for human consumption, a human will take it. But again, I said humans take ketamine. That's for horses.
Yeah. But, I did see something today that somebody posted and said, this whole FDA approval, let's not hang our hats on that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. People question everything.
Well, no, because
first we wanted FDA approval.
No.
Then you
I'm
get
not
it,
saying
and it's
that.
like, nope, well, why is it now?
I'm not saying that. But the thing is, you have to remember, cigarettes are approved by the FDA.
But you knew that before the vaccine was approved by the FDA. We all knew that cigarettes was approved by the FDA.
All I'm saying,
that's not new news.
All I'm saying is, cigarettes were approved, and then years later, they're like, oh yeah, they can harm you.
But that's not new news.
I'm not saying that the vaccine I'm just saying these are some of the reasons why people mistrust the government. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be vaccinated. I think this is
stuff that, and I'm not saying we're the smartest people, but maybe intellectual people might know. I don't think everybody's walking around having what we're talking about in their mind as mistrust. I just think people are riding the wave. Oh, black people ain't getting it. I'm black, I ain't getting it. But if you're, like, again, and I don't know if people are going to the doctor, but if you go to the doctor and you trust your doctor, your PCP or whatever, somebody you see once or twice a year, I'm sure they would advise you to get the vaccine. And you still can say, okay, this is the information I got from my doctor, not fucking Kiki down the street or fucking Shade Room, but this is where I got my information. Now I'm going to make a sound decision because I got some literature in front of me. That's the way you should do it.
You got a PCP.
Yeah, I do have a PCP.
You got a PCP, boo.
Get the fuck out of here.
You got a PCP, boo. Come on, 2 up top. My baby got a PCP. He go to his appointments.
J and B, they did a campaign with Tiffany's. B took a picture with a $30 million diamond that only 4 women ever wore.
She's the 5th and the first black
She's
woman.
the 4th. She was it was discovered in 1878. It was worn by E. Sheldon Whitehouse, Aubrey Hepburn, Lady Gaga, and Beyonce. And Beyonce is the first black. The woman, the 4th woman that would have been, she wore a replica in a movie. So people was taking shots at B because obviously that's just what people do. And
Why?
Also taking shots at J because they say the picture that they took had a rare unseen Basquiat in it that Jay's supposed to have bought, and the painting Basquiat intended for it never to be seen. So the fact that he's buying it, people are taking shots like, you know, he didn't want it to be seen, and saying that he's taking Basquiat's style because of his hair, because they do have the same hairstyle.
Womp womp womp. Everybody takes their style from
This
somebody.
is what I thought. This is what I thought. I was like, data culture. Like, how much style? How many fucking Yankee hats did people wear? How many Air Force Ones did people wear? How many Sean Carters? How many Rockaware shit? How much
Well,
fucking...
let's not even say him. Tell me who has a hairstyle that they just created out the clear blue sky and they didn't see somebody else with it and said, I like that hairstyle. I think I may want to try it. Like, you didn't just know who made up the first hairstyle. I mean, everybody wears that. So what? He if he's trying to replicate, if he had blue hair, that people would talk about him. If he permed his hair, people would talk about him. If he wore Caesar, people would talk about him. Like, so what? He's wearing his hair. He has free-form locks. Okay, big deal.
Just
and
like Basquiat,
with
but
Basquiat,
that's cool.
That may have been the thing that he didn't want anybody to see this painting. So what? And I'm asking, what is the mindset? He wanted him to buy it and put it in a closet? No. Because wouldn't people still see it, like if they come to his house?
Basquiat intended for it never to be seen. So you know how painters and artists have that weird thing where, you know, something is art that you don't think is art. So it's like, I painted this, but I don't never want it to be seen.
So I'm asking, when Jay bought it, was the expectation he would just put it in a closet or something?
It's in the picture they took. Millions of people already saw it.
But what I'm asking, when he first said, I don't want it to be seen, but he let Jay-Z buy it, right?
Yeah.
What did he think he was? He thought he was just going to put it away in a closet?
I don't know what he thought.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, it's his money. Once that could be your expectation.
And that's another thing. It's my painting.
Right, because
so
once
I buy it, I can do what the fuck I want to do with it.
I understand you wanted anybody to see it, but now it's mine, and I'm going to do what I want.
I gave you the money that you asked for.
If I cut it up into little bite-sized pieces and ate it.
The sizes of stamps and mail the little piece out to people. It doesn't matter.
It's my money.
I just don't get that. And people taking shots at them talking about how everybody talking about black people, you know, black billionaires should be trying to build their own, but they partnered with Tiffany's. And it's like they got Tiffany to give. You read more into this shit, get tapped in. They got Tiffany's to give $2 million to a bunch of HBCUs or something like that. So even though you're a billionaire and you're black and you probably don't need that, you still have to partner with somebody in these companies to work together to build your brand even more.
You have to leverage your success, leverage your name. Yeah, it's great when we all can work together, but at some point you got to say, you know what? All of our black money is going to help us, but I'm gonna get some of that white money to help us too.
Yeah, and they have the resources and leverage. So if they're going to do business with you, if you've gotten yourself to a point where they extend a branch out and it's okay, the deal is okay, why not do it? It's going to give you more of a bigger brand for yourself to partner with these other people, where if you was on a lower level, maybe you wouldn't get that opportunity.
Yeah, because who else has got Tiffany and Company to donate to HBCUs?
And people
not saying nobody has, but it's not something
talk
we've heard
about how, oh, they should be helping black people, and everybody forget, like 2 weeks ago, Beyonce had a bag it was a black owned bag, a Telfair bag, that sold the fuck out. So she helped that black company,
Well,
but people just forgot about the shit though.
But that bag always is sold out.
It's always sold out, but what I'm saying is that bag got more business because she carried one.
But this is the thing that I have a bigger problem with. People say they should be doing this, they should be doing that. They ain't obligated to take care of nobody except for those 3 babies that they created. Mm-hmm. That's their only obligation. Yeah, would it be nice for them to be wealthy people and help the community? Absolutely. But they should be is not. It's not true.
Yeah.
That's people's opinion. That doesn't make it fact. They should not be doing anything that they don't want to.
But how dare somebody say something like that where just on a whim, whether that bag was popular or not, it got more fucking business because she carried it.
I mean, it's a rich person helping another rich person.
Yeah, because she took a picture with it. Like
but even on a lower level, you think about the stuff that they help do that they don't talk about, that they don't broadcast. Like people talked about when Jay-Z got the position with the NFL. Oh, we're supposed to be boycotting the NFL. But how many black artists did that allow an opportunity for them to make more money? That's because people want to know every single detail. This is why that meme has been circulating and that says, now I see why Beyonce never talks. Because no matter what she says or does, people are going to make up their own narrative. They're going to have their own opinions, and people believe that their opinions are facts. So she should continue to do what she's doing.
Let's take some pictures. Like, let's get dressed. Let's wear this big, beautiful diamond. Jay get dressed in a tux, and let's take some photos with a painting in it, and it brings all this.
And guess what?
What?
I gotta go back and look at the pictures because I was looking at them. I didn't even see a damn painting in the picture.
Yeah, it's a painting.
I seen her gloves. I seen them. I didn't even see a painting. Like, I saw them. I looked at the way he was.
He put that in there. Like, it's there, but it ain't there.
Yeah, like I was looking at the way he was looking at her. It made me think, like, damn, that's how my husband looks at me. Like, it didn't even look like it was staged. Like, he was just really staring at her like, damn, that's all me over there. Like, that's what I was looking at. Like, people go too deep, or maybe I don't go deep enough. I don't know. Like, because, we talk about we have different ways that we navigate social media. I really be looking for people that I know personally in life and want to see what's going on in y'all life. The stars, the celebrities, I look here and there, but I ain't really that too concerned. So when I saw the pictures, it was like, oh, she looks great. Oh, she looks like old, that old Hollywood glamour. Oh, she has on these gloves. I love a long glove. And again, I was like, damn, his hair grew a lot. Look how he's looking at his wife. Didn't even see a painting in the picture. Like, people just really go way too far.
Sha'Carri.
Yeah.
Came in 9th and still talk shit.
You know what? I'm all for a woman.
Sha'Carri came in 9th and still talk. This is what I didn't know. And again, I had to get tapped in before I give my statements.
Okay.
But I didn't know that going into the Olympics, if she didn't smoke, she would have been the 6th fastest. I didn't know that there was 5 Jamaicans faster than her. I thought she was the fastest woman on the planet because when she pointed to the clock and broke the record in the 100-meter, I thought she was the fastest woman. I did not know there was 5 Jamaican women that were faster than her. Going through and seeing all this stuff posted, she was like arguing back and forth with the Jamaicans, and they was telling her on Twitter, like, I know you're getting all this clout and stuff. I guess having a little track beef.
Banter. Yeah.
Like, I know you having all this pub and all this, but don't forget and putting times up. Like, you 9.8 and 9.5 and shit like that. Mm. So I didn't know that she wasn't even the fastest. But to come back and race in the Fontaine and come in last, it's like now it's all this fucking pressure to come in first.
So when you said that she was the fastest, I didn't rebuke that because I wasn't sure.
Right.
But I didn't think that she was because I knew one of the girls, Shelly something, I think is her name, from Jamaica. I was pretty sure she was faster than her, but I didn't look it up, so I wasn't sure. And you have to remember, too, in the Olympic trials that we were watching, they're heats. So she may have won that heat, and maybe she was I don't know if the record she broke was her record, or maybe she broke the U.S. record. But you got to think, she won that heat. The next person could have won their heat and beat her time.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know for sure, but I'm not surprised to hear that. Because I just thought it would have been more highly publicized if she was like the fastest ever. But what I will say, which I like that she said, if you come in last, the only place you can go is up.
That's true.
Like, I mean,
I'm just saying it's a bad look. I don't knock her because I'm sure she gave her all she could, but I didn't know, and I'm not fast by any means, but we're judging track here. This is just giving my opinion. I didn't know that the Jamaican girl was that much fucking faster than her.
Yeah, I thought
by like 3 seconds. Like, she was last. That girl was like really in front of her.
Yeah, I mean, guess what? She's in the race, so she's fast anyway.
Right.
She just,
But it's almost like, is racing like basketball, where basketball, maybe my shot don't fall today. But if you're running, you don't run 2 seconds slower. You're running. Like,
I mean, you can't
have
run
if you're
day,
injured,
I guess.
Obviously, but if you're healthy and you're running, then you just running. Like, you should run as fast as you can.
But I think it's the Prefontaine, and I don't know if it's the Prefontaine because then there's a Fontaine. But in that race, you got to remember too, those are the best of the best of the best.
Right.
So again, you got to think, I don't know in terms of track, like, do you just have an off day? I mean, because you have some women, or not some, you have some racers who continually win. And then you may have some that...
But that's what I mean. What are they doing different than a guy? And that's what I mean. Can you have an off day running? Because you're just running, like, in a straight line. It's not like you come out and, my shot not falling. Or I fumbled the football today, I keep fumbling. Like, how can you, if you get down in a race to run and you know you're in a race, why wouldn't you run as fast as you can?
It could be a mental thing. You could, like, or I know, but like,
and
I kind of hear.
I'm not saying it is.
I kind of hear, like, if your takeoff isn't the right way, like if you hesitate for a second or
don't come off the block.
Yeah, it could be different things. It could be something
so it could be the
so
technical
minute
part of running
that impacts the finish line, pun intended. That that could result in you losing. So the way they hold their hands generates more speed. Their tilt on their body can generate more speed. So I mean, it could be.
But
somebody
all of
said
that
her
is
wig was too heavy.
All of that was is your job. I think that's not nothing that comes into question where you're 3 seconds slow and they say why and you say because I was tilting forward. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
I mean, you would think you have more experience than to know not to
especially
do that.
at that level.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how to run. You know what you need to be fast. Are they just that much fucking fast? Because to be 3-4 seconds faster than somebody is fucking fast.
And it could be that, I mean, I assume that she has still been practicing even though she wasn't allowed in the Olympics.
She said she didn't run in a month. So,
that could have something to do with it. Like, why wouldn't you run in a month?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be on? And I don't know whether she can, what's the word I'm looking for? Simulate that on a treadmill. Yeah. I don't know if it's the same as running around a track or something.
Yeah, I don't either. And I don't know if that's normal to take a month off.
I don't know if being suspended is in that thing. I don't know, maybe being suspended is you can't run. I don't know.
Who's to say you can't go to your neighborhood track and run? I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, one thing I did like about her story when that happened, and with the marijuana, it was a couple. I'll say this: the thing I liked, Nike still continued with her deal. Mm-hmm. She wasn't let go. That in this society where we are moving towards the legalization of marijuana, it boggles my mind that there's still people who are doing big jail time for small amounts of weed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all of those jails now, I mean, you kind of look at it like, okay, at the time they did it, it was a crime, but now it's not. Let them go. And I
don't think nobody should be in jail with football numbers for weed. So you gotta you got guys that's been locked up with 10 pounds of weed. obviously they was dealing drugs, but they shouldn't be in jail for 50 years for that.
No.
So now that weed is legal, yeah, you have to do something about the 50 years. I don't know whether it's let them out right now or, you know, reduce a heavy part of the sentence, whatever, but you can't have 50 years for what's legal now, and you got locked up for it.
Exactly. And in the same way,
they took a huge part of your life, and now it's legal. Everybody walking around doing it.
And in the same way, there was a forum that was held during the Olympics by some athletes, and they talked about how CBD, which is the derivative of marijuana, aided them in like healing and recovery. So just to think the contrasting information, like I know the THC component that gets you high from marijuana is not included in CBD, but how dare you? It's almost like a slap in the face. You allow these people, now this wasn't sponsored like by the Olympics, but it was some athletes. You're talking about CBD and how it can be so beneficial in healing and health and all of that.
While at the same time,
exactly, at the same time, you have this conversation going on about a girl who's been suspended. Not to mention that you had stars like Michael Phelps and some of his other swimming team members who all admitted that they were high at the time and they accepted their gold medal for winning the Olympics when they did.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And I know people say, oh, the rules are the rules are the rules. At some point, we have to take a look and reconsider the rules.
Every rule has a human element.
Yeah.
It can be fucking just tweaked a little bit. Don't have to be eradicated if not necessary, but it could be fucking put the human element in it a little bit. She just lost her mom. Weed is legal now. She was in a state where it was legal. She bought it legally. So what did she do wrong?
And being high and helping you run fast.
Yeah, if she got a medical card, then you should honor that.
Yeah, being high ain't helping you run fast.
No.
People say, oh, well, it helps you focus and all blah, 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 blah. But it ain't helping you run fast. If anything, you going to want to take a nap.
Yeah, out the girl who's on a diet pill or something is getting some type of small amphetamine off of that or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. 3 grams. The fucking crate challenge.
You want to try it?
No. Break your fucking neck.
You know what? 5.
The fucking crate
maybe
challenge.
10 years ago, I probably have wanted to try it. And 40, hell no.
Supposedly somebody died today. A girl was doing it in a gas station on asphalt and broke her neck.
That's horrible.
Now, the video says she died. As the ambulance came and was picking her up, she did bend her knees up.
Don't mean she ain't died later.
Yeah, so the video did say she died, but she fell and was not fucking moving.
So this is the thing. People have to be careful. You have to do things, responsive.
Boosie started this shit.
He did?
Yeah.
You have to do things responsibly. But what I will say, all these fake woke people that's, oh, you want to climb the crates, but you don't want to climb the ladder to success.
Who said that?
I've been seeing a lot of people post stuff that has been like so like, give it a break. Let people have fun. If it ain't your type of fun, I remember years ago when people was doing the hey Kiki, do you love me? And everybody had something to say.
Getting out their car, dancing to it.
It's stupid. It ain't for us, but it's funny. Like, let
crashing.
people do their thing. Stop judging people, making everything so serious. I've seen videos of like neighborhoods, and they've been having fun. It's this.
How many people we seen fall and almost get run over by their car?
Yeah. But no, with the crate challenge, it's this. There's a community improvement group, and they posted something that said, "Look, we didn't want to do this, but obviously this is bringing people together, so we're going to give in." And like they were doing it as a means of having fun, having some kind of group effort, bringing people together to work together. Look, if it's going to stop the dumb stuff and allow people to have fun and laugh for a minute, but just be responsible. What I will say, and this is horrible.
So if our nephews or somebody was doing a crate challenge, you'd be okay with it?
Hell yeah, I would.
But what if they got seriously fucking? You know this guy, babe. You ain't been watching the videos.
Well, no. Let me say this.
You remember Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
So this heavyset dude did the crate challenge. He had on like khaki pants and like red and black shirt. I'll find the video. He goes up the crate, falls down. They go around, and his ankle is going that way, babe. in his boot and in his sock, going that way. I'm talking like the wrong fucking way. And they're like, oh my God, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Like, you could get seriously fucking hurt.
How many times as kids was you running and flipping on mattresses and doing dumb stuff?
Yeah,
like,
but that's like not knowing. These aren't kids. These are like adults out there.
Well, you asked me about our nephew or something, or if our nieces were doing it. Now, I would want to be there to hopefully catch him and help him be safe. But kids gonna be kids. But what I will say, and this is a serious moment, it was a horrible video. And it had nothing to do with the crate challenge, but it was while the crate challenge was going on in Chicago. It was a drive-by.
Yeah, 2 people got shot and killed.
A girl got killed.
3 people got killed. I saw the video. 3 people got killed. The dude was asking for his gun as the shots was going. When he got to the top, the blue car in the background started shooting, and I heard him like, "Give me my gun! Give me my gun! Give me my gun!"
People were like having fun, giggling, laughing in a big field. And it's like, wow.
It's only a matter of time before it happens. Yeah.
And I don't think the shooting had anything with the fact that it was the crate challenge, but it could have been somebody out there that had beef with somebody that just let their guard down for a moment to have some fun, and reality smacked them back in the face. Like, yeah. So, I mean, the crate challenge, it is what it is. I have seen some of the videos. They make me cringe because some people fall and it's like,
you can't put, like, if you put your arm out, it might snap.
Now,
then I seen some people neck get caught on a crate and like they body fall a different way. I seen the girl with the high heels who did the whole thing. You see her?
I started, but I stopped.
And she did that shit all the way over.
It is no way in the world that I would do it, but if I did, I'm sure I could make it.
No, babe.
I'm sure. I'm not going to try, but I promise you, I think that I could.
Crates on grass will fucking wobble your ass off of there.
The thing is, this is what happens. People get to the top and they get excited and they don't realize you have to take the same amount of caution coming down that you did. What you got to do is you stand to the side and you take one little step down.
No, that's not the way to do it.
Step down.
The way to get over the crate challenge is to stay low. If you stay low, the crates won't wobble. Once you get up there and stand up tall, that's when you get this. If you bend down, they stop. So if you stay low, hunched over, you can walk over them.
You want to get some crates in the backyard?
No, but I'm not going to break my fucking
neck. We can go
neck.
in the yard. Nobody won't have to know.
And I'll be laid the fuck out in the yard.
I'll catch you.
No, you won't. No, you
we ain't
going
no crate challenge. I'm joking.
25 goddamn crates.
I have never, except for my toe that I broke last year during COVID, I have never had a broken bone, and God knows at 40 plus, I do not want one. So we ain't doing no crate challenge, but it's cute. It's funny.
Yeah, the shit is just crazy.
Stop with the fake woke stuff. Like,
I don't know how you tie being woke to crates.
I'm telling you, people have been saying y'all will work together, or y'all got the white man out here convincing y'all to climb crates, and y'all don't even have health insurance if you hurt yourself. Like, oh, give me a break.
I don't know how you
give me a break.
If that's how they're doing it, that's I saw a 13-year-old boy is going to Georgia Tech.
I saw that.
How is that possible?
You know, I always think about these kid prodigies that have that opportunity where, you know, they...
How much of a prodigy can you be? I mean, hold on, 10, 5th grade?
Maddie is 13. She's going to the 8th grade.
8th grade.
I was going to the 9th grade, so 8th, 9th grade.
How can you be college ready? Or how do they know that at 8?
Well, I mean...
At 8th grade. So, I mean, they had to know... Like, so in 5th grade, they had to be giving you 8th grade work. So now they think in 8th grade, you pass 12th grade work.
Yeah, you had to pass 12th grade work, and if you pass the entrance exam for college, then...
At 13, babe?
Yeah. It's awesome. It makes me think, though, like, I mean, that's awesome, and, you know, the life or career that hopefully he'll have. But I hope that he still gets a chance to enjoy. And mentally, he may not even be interested. He may look at this crate challenge as, oh, this is buffoonery. But I hope that he gets to enjoy some of the childhood things that a 13-year-old should.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just sick to me. Delta Airlines notifies their employees $200 increase in health insurance premiums if not vaccinated.
I knew it was coming in some kind of way.
$200 out the check.
I mean, you figure that's $100 each check, because you got to think, if you're not vaccinated, then they're going to send you for tests.
Yeah, and every 2 weeks they get paid on the 1st and the 15th.
And that means that you have to be tested regularly. they're not going to eat the cost of this test. And you think about this: if you get COVID, and you're hospitalized, then, so from my health insurance knowledge, I'll say if they are a self-insured company, that means that they pay the health claims.
Mm-hmm.
So that means even though you may have an insurance company, let's say
the money comes from that your job.
Yeah. So if you get sick, the administrator of your benefits may be Blue Cross or Aetna or whoever, but your self-insured company, they're paying those claims. So they're saying, hell, if we're going to have to pay these claims for you potentially being sick, you're going to give us some more of this money. And
So just
that's really what it is.
People already paying $350 a month for health insurance. Now they tack on an extra $200.
It's not uncommon though for companies to do that. Companies have done that. If you smoke cigarettes, then there is an additional fee that you have to pay, or additional amount that you have to pay, because it's a health risk.
Shit like that.
Yeah, my company has a program where it's like you have to participate in these like health activities through an app. It's really simple. You have to accumulate a certain number of points throughout the year. If you don't, then you have a $500 amount that you have to pay towards your benefits. Now, I don't know if it's a one-time payment or if it's sprinkled out over the year. I made my points every year, so I don't get it. Now, the on the upside, if you get the points and then you go over to a certain amount, you actually get money back. So, I mean, it's not new that companies have incentives like that.
Is that number excessive?
$200? No,
because again, if somebody is paying $350 a month, $175 a check or something like that for good health insurance, and you talking about $200 extra, that's biting in their budget.
I mean, it is
for either.
But you have to think though, companies pay a lot for insurance. So I mean, people probably don't know this, but if you're paying, let's just say if you're paying $300 a month, $150 per each check, that policy is probably $900 a month, and your company's eating the other half. Mm-hmm. A good company, you may have some companies that's required, and I think
you should trust how she worked for insurance. I trust what she's saying. I mean,
it's so they probably feel like, you know what, we're not going to take on this additional potential cost because of you being sick. Now, I mean, you think it would be unfair for them to do something like that with like, oh, well, you got cancer and you're going to need additional treatments, so we're going to make you pay more. That would just be like unscrupulous.
Yeah, I think you can't do that.
Yeah, but for
COVID, some shit that you can have control over.
And I think what companies are realizing, you can't force people to get the vaccine.
But you can fucking make it stringent.
There are loopholes around that. People can call, religious exemptions and other things like that. Allergies, if you're allergic to eggs, you can't.
I think that's the only two things you can. Either it's religious or allergies. Yeah. Other than that,
so I think that's what they're finding themselves and saying, like, okay, which you still got to think, is that fair too? Because of my religious beliefs, then I have to pay more money. I think companies are going to find themselves in some trouble behind it, because just think about that. If you have
they're private though, because you own your company, you can do what you want to do with it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that people won't try and get them held up in some litigation, but we'll see. But
say like a company like Comcast, that's privately owned.
I mean, that doesn't mean that their employees can't sue them, is what I'm saying.
But I mean, would they win?
Who knows?
If it gets to the court and you go through all that shit, first off, they got more money than you got in lawyers. And then you get there and they tell you this is a privately owned company. This isn't owned by the state or anything.
But then you got to think, how far people are they going to call in the ACLU to say, oh, this is infringing on my civil liberties because I have the right not to be vaccinated. And so, I mean, how far will people take it?
I would like to know how many people are walking around out there that
it's a mosquito in here.
A gnat. It wasn't a mosquito.
Oh.
But how many people are walking around our age that's never been vaccinated with anything?
Not for anything. So
like their parents were non-vaxxers and they never had like school vaccinations. They never had anything. And maybe they were a little sickly and they got over it and they're fine now. But I would just like to know what's the percentage of people that's never had a vaccine.
Not to say that it wasn't a thing when we were younger. It wasn't a thing that I heard of. It was more so when like our generation of people started having kids that I started hearing that conversation. Now, of course, you had those hippies in the 70s who kind of, went along with that. But I don't, I don't know. I don't know.
That was 3 grams. We had 2 grams last week. Well, the week before that, we had a best of, so I owe a gram. And this might lead into next week's conversation. We church dropouts. What made you stop churching?
Oh, woo! So, I'll say this. I loved church growing up, and not for the religious aspect of it. Growing up in a house that was dysfunctional, that was strict, wasn't really allowed to do a lot of social things. Church for me was my social outing. Some of my earliest friendships were made at church. I started going to church at 5 years old, 5, 6 years old, and it was a lot of us the same age, and we grew up together. We did things that, was bad, like, hung out and did bad stuff or whatever, but we had fun together, singing on the choir.
Stop?
I'm getting there. Singing on the choir, all of that. Like, I love that from a social aspect. And as I became a teenager and became more in tune with God, the religious part of it too started to impact me. And there were people in church that I kind of looked up to in that realm, because I felt like, they were older than me, but young still. And I felt like, okay, these were people to look up to. And then I found out that there was a group of people that were gay, homosexuals, men. Not that anything
on the deal.
Yeah.
And what age bracket we talking?
I probably was like 7.
No, not you, them.
That's something. And I probably was like 17, 18. So they probably was like 21 to 25.
Okay.
And it wasn't so much that what they were doing, because, they were doing what they were doing. We were cool. They didn't know that I knew, but I knew from somebody that I was close with. But it was the image that they were giving out in the church. And to me, I just couldn't rock with it. It was like, I can't do this. And then I found out, like, it was even more people, like, it was a pastor. So if anybody's watching this that I went to church with, I ain't going to tell y'all who it was. It wasn't the head pastor, because y'all would know who I'm talking about. Not him at all. But it was a pastor. But it was just like that kind of, it to be honest, it like broke my heart a little bit. It's like, dang, like, I don't like this. So that's
I know you've been to church after that. Has there been any experiences after that made you say, nah, I can't attach to this no more?
You know what I don't like in the church? The cliquishness.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that. Or people who act.
And I know you don't necessarily care for a big church.
Yeah, I mean, because my thing is, I like being a part of the church. Not saying I want to be a part of every group, but I like the feeling of, knowing people. When we visited big churches, although it may have been a good experience from like the pastor or the sermon, I don't like that. For me, being in a church with 1,000 people, and you don't, and maybe
4,000.
It doesn't feel inclusive. That's the perfect word. Where like you just, and not to say like, oh, I gotta know everybody, but that's how I didn't grow up in like a little storefront church where it was 20 people. Like, we had a nice medium-sized church, but it's still, you knew people, and even if you didn't know everybody, you knew people, and it felt more like a big family, but it felt more like a community. Whereas some of these huge churches feel like a city, and it just doesn't have that personal touch for me. Like, I know people that go to a big church and like they don't even know each other. They go to the same church. Mm-hmm. For me, that's just not the feeling that I want in going to church. I would like to find a church home. We used to visit a really nice church in Southwest when we lived in Delaware County.
Yeah, with that pastor named Sean.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's why I'm saying we had some good church experiences. I don't want to go to church. I believe wholeheartedly in God and keep God in my life every day. I had the same experience. Like, I don't like the cliquish part, and the big part, though, it doesn't bother me because I don't want to be like, I just want to go get what I need, and I don't want to be in the groups and stuff like that. And but when I was younger and we used to go spend a night over my nana house, she used to take us to church, and we used to go to Cornerstone Baptist Church, and the, what do you call the ladies?
The ushers.
Ushers and
It could be men.
The deaconesses.
Oh, the deacons and deaconesses.
Deacons and deaconesses. They used to be at Nana house on Sunday, drunk, laid out. Some of them used to mess with each other. Like, they had little affairs going on. And we were young, but when they used to pass out, be drunk downstairs, we come down, some of them used to be peed on themselves, like, and they used to be, like, up on each other. And then they would do it all again next week. So I always had the sense of, this is just something y'all do. Like, when y'all leave there, y'all looking for the chicken, the beer, the liquor, all that good stuff, the cigarettes, like all that good stuff. And it's like y'all just heard the sermon an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
But they're humans.
And I wasn't judging them. I thought it was comical. It was funny.
But it was a poor representation of what you expect a Christian to be.
Exactly. Because it was like, you know, all that stuff about the sermon and lying and believing in God. And then it was like, they couldn't wait to get out of there to party.
Yeah, I mean, we had fun in church, but the spiritual part was fun too. I didn't feel no ill will
about it as a kid. I just thought, like, this is comical, like how they just come home and kick their shoes off and relax and drink.
So why don't you want to go to church now?
I'm just not attached to it. Like, I like the way I have God in my life now and how I move now, and I don't, because I'm not going to be a part of it. Like, I mean, you know, a good sermon is good to hear. But I don't want to get up on Sunday and go to church. I don't get what I get every day from going to the church.
You know what I wish?
And I think from not going for so many years, I've learned for me to put God in my life. So I make sure that He's there.
I like church for the fellowship point, for the fellowship aspect. Again, if you are aware and you know who the people are, one of the things that I wish that church did, and when I say church, I mean like the Christian, Baptist, Pentecostal, whatever the other denominations are. You know, I know people that I love who are Jehovah's Witness. I know people who believe, practice Islam. I know of one Jewish person, and so I think this is true for the Jewish people, but I won't say for certain. They go to their local, the Jehovah's Witnesses, they go to their local Kingdom Hall. Muslims go to their local mosque. It's not like, you know, if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you live in West Philly, but you like the Kingdom Hall in New Jersey, you're traveling there. I wish that that's how church was, because we have a church down the street, and sometimes we hear their choir and it be bumping. I don't know what the church is like though. One day we
see a bunch of old people though, so it's probably an old pastor. It's probably an old, because when you see the cars pull up,
I don't see
it's not a young crowd. It's like a 50 and older crowd. I would say.
I think so. But I'll be thinking to myself, one day I'm gonna walk down there like when Suge walked to church with Color Purple.
And that's a wrap, people. Act 2 the podcast, episode 33. That is a wrap. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate the likes. Y'all got to go there and check out episode 1 through 33. Get the views up. We coming hard. We coming strong. A lot of stuff just happened, and a lot of shit we about to make happen. So get on the train early. Go get the episodes, because you know, you're gonna want to get them. So we appreciate it.
No, we're not. Sorry. No, it's the wrong song.
We appreciate y'all. Stay engaged, because we will. We got more questions coming up probably this week. More content to post. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.